It was a turbulent time across our country following the death of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. It was also a time of reflection and an opportunity to build programs for those in need. Creating higher educational opportunities for those who needed help locally was Rhode Island's response to Dr. King's assassination. University of Rhode Island Talent Development Admissions Officer Frank Forleo remembers it well.
I started as a first-year student in 1965. And I must say that this was an exceedingly white institution in 1965, except for a few student athletes and a few selected students of color. So as students of color, we're not being recruited in great numbers. And when Dr. King was killed, there was a lot of protest. Talent development was the response to Dr. King's assassination. And we started with a class in '68 of 13 students that I don't know whether people thought they would be successful or not, but 11 of those 13 graduated, 2 went on to PhDs, 1 became a college professor, and that was the beginning of a program that's grown into 1,400 students.
Those successful students in 1969 and today have Mr. Leo Dimeo to thank for the chance to attend URI. Mr. D, as he was affectionately known, dedicated his life and career to creating opportunities for students of color and the disadvantaged here in Rhode Island. He was a Providence boy who never forgot where he came from and wanted to give back. He began his career in the prison system, starting educational programs for inmates. A few years later, Dimeo, along with the late Reverend Arthur Harge, went on to develop special programs for talent development students here at the University of Rhode Island.
The positive impact that he has had on minority education in the state of Rhode Island will definitely be one of his legacies. I mean, I can't even wrap my mind around someone else who has had a bigger impact on minority education in the state of Rhode Island. Mr. D, he's touched so many lives. We've got doctors and lawyers and bankers and just so many professional people that never would have been. I would never have gone through college had it not been for the talent development program.
He always used to get fired up and start chanting, TD, TD, and all the students would get excited. Actually, it was kind of the first time I've ever seen that somebody that excited about education, and it just kind of motivated you to want to do well in school and make Mr. D proud of you.
He knew the importance of education. He knew that it could change not only an individual but entire families, and he was passionate about the success of that program.
That passion drove his belief in the human spirit and his belief in finding the good in everyone. He never gave up on his students and sacrificed much of his own time for the talent development program.
Fortunately for us, not so fortunate for his family, he ended up spending a lot of time with the TD family. In order for him to do the work that he did with so many students and to give them what they may not have gotten at home, and to have that strength to talk to them and tell them how much he believes in them, I think that takes a big heart and a lot of love to do it.
Stories are legendary about what Mr. Dimeo expected from his TD students.
There's legendary stories about Leo knocking on residence hall doors in the morning if a student wasn't in class. There's legendary stories about Leo walking into the men's basketball practice and stopping the practice to talk to one of those students who hadn't turned in a paper. Leo was totally dedicated to these students.
There was one time that I had done the worst in my career, that I had to meet with Mr. D, and that one conversation changed the game for me. Again, looking at me in my eyes, young lady, you can do better, and I expect more. So that was the main content. Didn't make me sad, wasn't happy about what I did, but walked out of the room knowing it's time to step up your game.
He gave me the speech. I was faltering a little about how he spent time at the ACI.
Yes,
and I remember him slamming his hand on the desk, and I was petrified. It worked.
Dedication is what makes relationships and families work, and family is how Mr. D referred to his talent development coworkers and students, and that is how the program runs today.
Where the rubber meets the road, we are a family. I know sometimes you'll hear the expression TD Nation, or you'll hear us referred to as a tribe, or sometimes you'll hear us referred to as the island. But all three of those things run off family values: caring, love, and tough love at times, but love.
Mr. Leo Dimeo passed on in February of 2014, but his legacy and love for the University of Rhode Island and all of its students lives on through his work and scholarship.
He was an incredible role model and left an incredible legacy here that not only will last forever and ever and ever, but has just made this institution a much better institution.
The legacy that Mr. Dimeo left is one of persistence, perseverance, dedication to your cause, and a passion to give back. Mr. Dimeo, over the years and the thousands of students that he left an impact on, it was because he gave back and he had it in his mind, resolute, to always be a champion for students, to be a champion for change. So the legacy that he left and what he left with me is to always fight for that, to fight to be better, and to do it with a passion and vigor.
I have had such a great and successful career thus far. I've been able to literally travel around the world and have some great experiences. And were it not for Mr. D, were it not for talent development, that would not have been possible.
Mr. D influenced me more than any other man I've ever met. He had faith in me when I had no faith in myself. And I think that that is the most important thing that he instilled in me. Mr. D, you will never be forgotten.
When I found out about his passing, I knew he was ill and I knew it would come at some point, but when I found out, it was almost like I felt a piece of his strength that said, you need to help me make sure my legacy lives on.
Mr. Dimeo is not absent even as we sit here right now. I feel Mr. D's presence, and I'll tell you why. In this time and in this place, URI, a new culture of opportunity was created with those men as leaders, and first and foremost for the students, a new culture of opportunity. And as long as that culture of opportunity lives, they will live.
The TD students, I know you can fly. I know you can fly because I've seen you fly. I've seen you spread your wing and soar through the sky. That is why I know you can fly. And Rev, baby, my brother, God bless you, I'm thinking of you. You must be so happy, 600. Gerald did it and the core staff. And you made Rev and I very proud and very happy. Remember, failure is not an option. Thank you.